So we're going to try and get this Austin painted this week. Hopefully it's going to go well.
Well, yeah.
I've come up with a little bit of a plan. I'm going to tell you guys about that in a minute and how we're going to do this process. But the first thing we got to do is get these desks out of here, so we've got plenty of space to work around the car. I think I've called this episode Mask Off, so we're going to be doing all the masking around the doors and stuff like that. But I'm hoping that the beginning of the painting might start in this episode. We'll see how we get on. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
The other thing I want to get done is probably a little bit of a deep clean as well, because yeah, we don't want any dust in the garage falling onto the car. We'll end up with dust nibs and stuff like that. So I've got hopefully a steam cleaner here somewhere. We're going to steam clean the whole garage, hoover it all, make sure that it's completely decontaminated before we paint it. Sound like a good idea?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Right, let's get cracking. Yeah, we're going to have to share this with you guys. Epic fail. What happened, Ian? Yeah, because this isn't an actual proper workbench. This is just a homemade thing with castboard. But yeah, this bit just fell off. So me and Ian are now very carefully sort of making a train method of getting it in here. Ready? Careful, steady. It's interesting. We want this right against the wall, Ian, because I want to spray the doors against that wall. Oh God, we're going to try and do a hole. Oh my God. Oh, Ian, you're meant. No, it don't matter. Just. Do we need anything from inside the cupboard? Well, that's true. Ian, be careful, please. Just mind your toes. I'm not wearing steelies either. Yeah, guys, how not to do things. I am actually, Ian, I'm actually not helping it, so am I, just filming you. I'm such a bad friend. We might have to get some light sorted in here, dude. It's going to be quite dark in here for painting. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get some lights sussed up. Right, if I stop fanning around and actually give you some help. I have to say, that worked quite well. Obviously I will get that fixed, but do you want to go a little bit further? Can we push it in just a tiny bit? Yeah. Yeah, nice. And then if I just push. Oh, good enough. Good enough. Do you want me to lower it down? Maybe just lay it on its back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this episode's going weird so far, Ian. So we have actually just decided that we are going to leave. Yeah, we've decided we're going to leave that one alone, only because I've Chris screwed it to the wall. And in all fairness, we could do with an area just to have the paints and stuff ready, I suppose. But yeah, we're going to try and clean all of this out, get the doors into the other garage, so I've got plenty of space. So Ian's currently in the process, aren't you, sir, of removing all the back lights that we've taken them out. I think one of the guys on the Austin A30 Owners Club did have a little bit of a grumble about this. He was like, I hope you're going to take those off. Yes, we are. Well done, Ian. You got them off, did you? Well done, sir. So yeah, finishing touches. It's not long until we start getting this taped up now. I think we're going to try to have a go at getting rid of the front headlamps as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Might make life a little bit easier. Now, this isn't actually being painted just yet. We decided the boot's going to be done with, with some tender love and care. But we are going to do, obviously, the inside and the roof in that colour. And I think what I'm probably going to do is order the same colours, but in the aerosol cans for the boots. Would you reckon, Ian?
Yeah.
And probably the same for the engine bay. I'm probably going to, rattle can those two, just because I think it'd be easier to get in amongst there with that sort of thing. Would you reckon, Ian?
Yeah.
But you never know, I might have enough left over. As I said in that episode, enough is enough. What do you think, Ian?
Yep.
Are we in a good place?
Yeah.
I think so. So, what we've done, you missed it all. We were here Friday, weren't we?
Yep.
Yeah, so we did a late night Friday, sanding all these doors off because as you saw in the last one, we didn't actually finish it off last time. But I think we've done as much as we could possibly do. I think the last little thing to do really is to mask it all off. Now, that's probably going to take a little while actually. Masking off, but in case you didn't know, is obviously crucial to a nice paint job. So we're going to take a little bit of time to do this. We'll try and make it interesting. And I think when we do the undercoat, we're going to do it in real time as well, rather than us scurrying around like a couple of busy rats, you know what I mean? We'll try and savour the moment on this one. But yeah, let's get into masking this off. And the last little thing we've got to do is, sort of declutter the garage and make sure there's no dust that's going to get onto the paint once it goes on. Ready? Yep. Next bit, let's go. So, right, I think a little bit of teamwork is required with this, Ian. I think what we're going to do is one of us will pry the piece of rubber back. Now, ideally, I would like to replace all the rubbers, but look, come on, guys. I mean, be fair. I mean, how much is that going to cost? You know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. Yes, it will get done eventually, but for now, we're just going to try and savour what we have. So yeah, if you could sort of peel one back, if you've got like a flathead screwdriver or a chisel or something like that, and I will come behind and obviously put the masking tape underneath so it can't seep through. I've also got some cardboard, this roll of paper sheet. Now, the reason I got this, because I don't know, you probably saw me using the plastic stuff before. I found, I don't know, the cardboard absorbs the paint when it oversprays, but it doesn't flake off again. With the, did you find that, Ian? Yeah. Yeah, it's sort of late with the plastic sheeting. You got some there, Ian? Yeah, it will show you. In case you're thinking about doing this yourself. Don't know if this will give you. Oh no, that's not it. Is the paint goes onto it but doesn't bond. So obviously, you know, you're all right for like maybe one spray, but when you need to go around to the second coat, it then, you know, the air actually puffs it off, and you end up with like specks all over your nice new coat. So that's why I'm converting to the paper one. Do you think that's good consumer advice, Ian? Yeah, that's fair enough, isn't it? Yep. Not that I'm any expert. And by the way, guys, I'm not an expert. This is my first time. Be nice. Right, Ian, let's get rid of that for a second. I don't need that just yet. I do believe that now is the time to give this place a thorough clean out, because yeah, we are intended to paint it today. As you can see, we've got all of these done. They're masked off and ready to go. They do still need a rub down yet with the degreaser and things, but we're going to do all that in one hit, I think. What do you reckon, Ian? Yeah, in one hit. As you can see though, like, it would be a big schoolboy error. Let's just zoom in. As you can see, the place is absolutely filthy. And yeah, yeah, we want to get ourselves obviously nice and prepared. So the next part we're going to do is me and Ian are going to use the compressor. We're going to blast all the dust out whilst I'm hoovering, get this place looking spick and span. And then we're going to use a steam cleaner just to go over the floor and possibly go into any other places where dust might be hiding and things like that. The steam cleaner, I think, might be a good shout, Ian. Yeah. make it really, really clean. And then once we've done that, we've just got the Austin to bring in. We've just got to mask off all the door panels and things like that. And we will get into starting to put some of the paint on these doors. How exciting. It's looking good now, Ian. Yeah. I think we're winning. So this is where we are at the moment. As you can see, much tidier. And you can see the sofa again, Ian. So yeah, this unfortunately we couldn't get out of the way because it's nailed to the wall. But it should be a little bit helpful actually, because that means I can warm my paint up in there. So what we got left to do, Ian? We've got to get the car back in, finish the masking off, and I think we're in business. Yeah. Now, this might be a little bit OTT, but as I've got it to my disposal, I've got this rather lovely steam cleaner. So what I'm going to do is just dampen the floor down a little bit, make sure there's absolutely no dust that can jump up whatsoever, and maybe clean some of the surfaces off. Then we'll get the car in, and then I think we're in a place where we're going to be able to paint it. Ian's quite happy. He seems to have made himself a den. Should we go find him? Where is he? He's in there, mate. It's real dark in there. Yes. Okay. So we didn't bother filming all this. One, because I needed to charge my phone, and two, it would have been pretty boring. But as you can see, yeah, we've gone to town on the car. We've got everything pretty much masked off, even the engine bay. We've got a few little bits to do. We've got to cover up the tyres. Anything else, Ian? We've been on the boot. That's all good. Yeah, so I think, yeah, we'll just get this finished off. And then I'm going to tell you my process that I'm going to follow in terms of the paint. The slow cooker is currently warming up as we speak. And that's going to be for... Nice curry. Yeah, nice curry. Look. I'm sure my girlfriend's going to be really happy to have that back. But we're going to use that to warm up the paint, and then we're going to thin it out a little bit. But before we do anything like that, we're going to, yeah, well, obviously we need to use tacking cloths and rub everything down. And in the other garage, we've got all the other ones ready to go. Oh my God. And we have gone through the effort, if the sun would let me show you, and yeah, we have masked off all of these lines here. I mean, I was going to originally, wasn't I, Ian? Yeah. We did have a commenter saying that he was upset that we weren't masking stuff, but no, that was always the plan in the first place. It's just, yeah, we were only playing around with primers, which I wasn't really overly worried about, because as you can see, yeah, we've got quite a lot of different colours going on here. But yeah, now that we're into the base coat, we're going to need to make sure this is masked off properly, because this is going to be the proper lines that's going to go in. So we're going to have carriage coach cream on the top and British maroon red on the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use some undercoat. That's what's going to go on first. Now, decided the process that I'm going to follow is going to be very much what Paintman has said. to put the undercoat on, obviously give it a good amount of time to dry, and then I'm going to rub it back once it's dry by 600. I'm not going to use any machines, it's going to be done all by hand by 600 grit. That way, obviously it's keyed it up nicely. We're then re-tacking cloth, and then we're going to put the base coats on, and hopefully they will come out nice and flat if I thin them out right. But at least this undercoat part will probably show you kind of what the paint colour is going to be. That's exciting, isn't it, Ian?
Oh yes.
Yeah. And then yeah, I've decided to go with all the coats that's going to be on the British Maroon Red side, because obviously we've got everything else masked off, and then later in the week when everything's dried, we can take all this off and do the opposite, and we're going to do the inside and the roof as a sort of a different thing, if that makes sense. Did that make sense, Ian?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you understood it, so that's the main thing. Any tacking cloth. I've got this anti-silt stuff. This is basically just a degreaser. I'm going to go over the whole car and obviously all the doors and stuff as like almost like a prep wipe. And then obviously I'll go over it again with a tacking cloth. Take 3. So yeah, we've just tried to shoot that part 3 times, haven't we, Ian? You know the little microphone I use, every time I hit the button it wouldn't record, so it would record me but not any of my voice. So hopefully I've disconnected it all. We'll just have to go with rubbish audio. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you that haven't come across this before, these are tacking cloths. Okay, basically it's what it says on the tin. It's a tacky cloth. If you feel it, it's actually almost sticky. The idea of it, you go over and rub it down with it, and it takes out any particles that are still left on the vehicle. Now let's just consider this for a second. So I've just used anti-silt, as you saw, the degreaser all over the car, and I was quite generous and liberal with it. That's what still came off. So as you can see, it's definitely worth using. So if you are an amateur out there that thinks, oh, I'm not going to bother with that, well, that might be why you get a bad job done. I certainly think it was worth doing after seeing this. So just a quick word about what paint we're using before we go and apply it here. So today we're going to do the undercoat. It is an enamel synthetic paint. I've asked the paint man to give me some information about what I'm using, and yeah, they basically said out of the 2 of them, it's probably going to take longer to dry. But you know, it's ultimately should be a more durable paint, and it's probably a bit more better suited to this style of car, I would imagine. We're not really painting a Ferrari right here, are we? I think for the DIY kind of job, I suspect this is probably the one to go with. I see a lot of guys that paint diggers and stuff, and you know, dumpers and all that sort of thing. It's more of an old school paint, and if I need to, I can hopefully flatten it back with some wet and dry later if needs be. So in terms of method, I've decided to go with the spray gun. Now this will mean I'm going to need to thin the paint out a little bit. We did try it without it, even though paint man did say that it didn't need thinning. I think we will have to, because yeah, last time we tried to use it wasn't very good. I have actually gone out and bought myself a brand new hopper. It's not an expensive one, so if you are out there that have got like one of these DIY compressor kits, you know, this is going to be hopefully a good test for that. And the other thing I've done is I've put the paint over there into a slow cooker. I don't know if this helps, but some of the guys that commented on that video where I mentioned that said, yeah, no, that's the cool thing to do, warming the paint up. It is also quite a warm day in here in Britain, for once. We're hoping that's going to help the car dry. I think the only enemy that I have in this is the compressor that I've got. For some reason seems to have accumulated moisture inside, even though I dump the air every time I'm in here. There seemed to be some sort of moisture coming out of it, so hopefully that won't interfere too much. If it does, I'm going to go buy a new one tomorrow and then try have another re-go. But I think for now I'll stop ranting. Let's get the paint thinned out a little bit into the hopper, and it's game on. You know, I think we're ready to go. Yeah, awesome. Now I had asked Paint Man, which is the company that I'm using, if there was any need to go get specific thinners or anything like that, they said you can do, but you know, some White Spirit will do thins oil-based paint, which is exactly what this is. So fingers crossed, they have not lied to me. So far, I have to say, as a company for Paintman, not that I'm sponsored by them or nothing, I am quite impressed actually. The paint seemed to be very good quality. They look quite nice once they're on actually. I mean, I've only seen the primer so far, but we were quite impressed by the quality of it, weren't we?
Yeah.
Didn't seem cheap. So, I think the lady told me that she said 5 to 1. Is there a 5 on here? 4 to 1. I'm not sure I'm going to go with that, Ian. I think it's kind of a little bit like Yorkshire puddings. I kind of know the consistency that I'm looking for. So I'm going to put it in and just add it. And I think what I'm kind of looking for is when the paint stops running, like it drips, it's like one consistent kind of flow off of the stirry stick. Hopefully we've got somewhere close. Oh, that's actually a chopstick. That'll do. Look at the colour. Now, I don't think the colour that we're about to spray on it represents what we're actually going to have in the end. This seems a lot more kind of purple. It is only an undercoat after all, so don't obviously base my colour choice by what we're going to see today, but hopefully it will give us an impression of what we're going for. It's quite nice though, look at that. See, I can't believe what she says here. That is actually the consistency that I'm looking for. Do you think that's thin enough? Do you think that needs thinning?
Just stir it even more.
Well, let's pour some out into here. It might be seemingly thin because it's warm, actually, because that tin is warm now. So that could be what it is. I'm going to put a little bit of thinner in there just to be on the safe side, I think. Not much. I'll tell you what I'll do. I won't go too heavy. Go with that for now. Brush there. Love the colour. Nice, isn't it? Look at that. Put you back in there. Oh, it's floating now. Might have to take some water out of there, Ian. Seems to be bobbing around. There we go. Right. Yeah. So that's not
quite.
Yeah. See, that was actually the kind of consistency. I don't know if the camera shows that. You know, if it runs off like that, it's pretty much what you're looking for. I don't know, what do you reckon, Ian?
Yeah, okay.
I think it's doing it because it's warm.
Warm, yeah.
So, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put a tiny dab of that in there, just to help it along. I don't think it'll hurt it. So we won't go too mad. Just a bit, you know, that much. Just to thin her up a little bit. Oh, that looks lovely.
Because I don't want to be too runny.
Yeah, make sure you stir her up properly. Get close up here. There we go. Good luck. I've got plenty in there. Now, what I'm going to do is just have a little test shot over there. Make sure my gun is set up nicely and is running nicely before we hit the car with it. At the end of the day, the worst thing to happen is that we don't use this paint. You know, if it's not running right, I'll just save it to tomorrow and we'll go get a new compressor. this is how we've got on. Wow, what a difference. As I said, you know, it might be slightly different from this on the last base coat. Remember, this is only an undercoat, but yeah, let's quickly take you around and show you what it looks like. There we are. And I must admit, I mean, you kind of had to be here, really. That's quite spectacular, isn't it? Wow, what a difference. Do you like it, Ian?
Yeah, I love it.
There's a door up on the roof. To be honest with you, I think it's gone on pretty even. Yeah, I'm quite happy with it, mate, really. I mean, it's only an undercoat, but still, it's certainly given us a good, rich colour.
Yeah.
I've got a good idea what it's going to look like, and it proves that the compressor wet. I mean, look at that bonnet. I mean, admittedly, it's wet, but yeah, we'll give it time to dry. Hopefully, it's gone on there quite even. But Ian, you've been inspecting my work, haven't you?
Yeah.
Can't see any dust nibs or anything like that just yet.
No.
I mean, it's early days. It's early days. I mean, obviously, this paint coat here is actually going to get a rub back by 600 grit anyway. So even though it looks really, really nice, yeah, it's not staying like that. It needs a little rub back, and of course the base coat's going to go on. But I think, yeah, that's probably concludes this episode. Actually, Ian.
Yeah.
Are we happy with that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, at long last, we finally got a colour on the car. I'm intending to do more this week. I'm off all week this week, so we'll see how I get on. If you did enjoy that, please give us a like. And if you're not yet with us, please subscribe. Ian, we are up to 149 subscribers. Wow, that's awesome. If that's one of you, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you next time. And by the way, for the subscribers, just hit your notification bell. That way you know when I'm going to release a new episode, which hopefully should be quite soon. So I've got a bit of time on my hands this week.
Yep.
If my other chores don't take over. But yeah, for now, thank you so much, guys. We're going to get tidy up. See you next time. Bye-bye. Ian. I told you, he's tired. He's tired. Bye.